واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة ثمانية كويس.
The first thing people notice is going to be the speakers. They're Tekton Pendragons. Like we kind of talked about before, this is the first 5.1 system that Eric had ever done. I convinced him to design this center channel to get into the home theater. Full range 10s. I think they go down to, I mean, I've got them down, I think around 60 hertz crossed over, so they're pretty beefy. And then a triple array of tweeters there. UMC for the preamp. The UMC one, obviously waiting for the XMC to come out with Atmos, so I can use my 40% off coupon. And then the Oppo 203 for 4K and CDs and whatnot. Pushing it, powering it. We've got the Parasound 2205A. I believe it's 220 watts times 5, 90 pounds, very beefy. And I sent that off to a guy, Blue Sky Audio in Utah, to clean the guts out and beef it up a little bit more. So very, very, very nice piece of equipment there that I love. And I've got its little brother here, the 855A, ready for Atmos whenever I get my Atmos preamp. All I need is the Atmos preamp.
That's cool. So can you tell me about these big boys over here?
Yeah, the speakers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just the Pendragon, the Tektons. I mean, 10-inch full range, a triple array of tweeters. It's identical to the center channel, just a slight different arrangement.
And you said that they had the speaker set first, the stereo pair,
Yeah,
and then they decided to.
Yeah, initially Eric was just selling music speakers for 2-channel, and I convinced him to do a home theater version and throw in, design that center channel for me, which he now sells as a set. And then I went ahead and did Pendragons all the way around, front channels and back channels.
This is a serious setup you got here, buddy.
Yeah, I like it. Neighbors might not. Big. I mean, it's made a huge difference. Just putting the carpet down, the rug down.
Yeah.
And putting up the acoustic treatment has made a huge difference just in the reflections that you hear in movies and stuff like that. It keeps everything real tight and in the room. It's you don't have a lot of bouncing sound waves. Very clean sound.
Cool. And so we're talking about these speakers up top.
Yeah, those are the Volt 10s LX right there. Obviously not hooked up yet, waiting on the preamp, but I threw those in last year. They come as a kit, so you got to put the crossover together. There's actually, I wish I had one to show you, but behind the cone inside the woofer is a tweeter, an off-axis tweeter, which is what you want when you're dealing with Dolby Atmos. And so the tweeter just kind of shoots the highs right out at the center of that cone. So there's a tweeter screwed into the back of that subwoofer, which is kind of cool. And then a big fat crossover behind it.
That's awesome. So now you have the same all around as your 5.1,
Yep,
well, your 5 channels.
Tekton Pendragons in the rear as well. Yeah.
And these things are huge. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty short, but this thing comes up to.
I'm 5'10". So.
Yeah, it's tall. It's deep.
Yeah.
And then so you paired that with which of these subwoofers?
So this is well, one other thing too is Eric uses automotive paint, at least on these he did, and I love that because I can come in here and wax them and good as new. They're filthy dirty right now, but Subwoofer wise, another thing that people are like, what kind of furniture is that? It's not furniture, it's a subwoofer. That's a tuba. Bill Fitzmaurice designed that, and I had a friend of mine in Oklahoma build this box for me, and he built the whole thing for me in essence. And we put truck bed liner on it. It's over 100 pounds.
Rhino lined.
Yeah, it's got the truck cut, the I don't know what they call that, just the bed liner, the truck bed liner spray on it.
That's awesome.
15-inch in there.
Single 15?
One single 15, and it's I believe with the way it's chambered inside there, it's 7.5 feet from the speaker to the port.
Dang.
Yeah, so there's a lot. It's a.
Do you know the volume of the cabinet?
I don't, man. I've had this thing for so long, but it's big.
And you said how many watts does this thing pump out?
The amp that's on there right now is 600, I think, 600 watts.
And you can crank it up to what?
I don't know. I haven't cranked it up as loud as it can go because of the neighbors.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I've got my butt kickers. This is my butt kicker switch, so I can do 1, 2, 3, or 4 seats. And then this is the amp that controls the butt kickers, which again I highly recommend, especially if you have limited space like this room. The butt kickers add a whole new dimension.
Yeah, definitely. Like we were just talking. He has these cool custom made seats, and it's awesome to actually have those butt kickers installed in there, because one, it's good for residential environments because you don't have to run your sub so hot. You can actually get all the bass and the effects from the visceral side. You can actually just sense it rather than actually hearing it and necessarily feeling it from your sub itself. So if you guys are in residential areas, especially like this guy, I checked out the neighborhood. This is a really nice neighborhood. So I mean, obviously you don't want to piss off your neighbors too much. Obviously you got to live with them for a little bit.
I still get calls periodically, but not as bad.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, so it's cool to have those butt kickers if you actually want to.
If you can get a cat that enjoys audio as much as him too. He's in here every time I have it cranked up. Does not matter how loud it gets.
So that's cool, man. Just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what it's like to have a really cool home theater. I mean, everyone is at completely different spots in their journey. And this is the thing about my channel. I hear comments and everything all the time about, oh, people should have done this, people should have done that. It's like, oh, well, I have this, which makes you less than me. It's not any of that. I mean, just because we have stuff now doesn't mean we've always had it. I mean, there's been chances to where whenever I didn't have a home theater at all, and then it's gone to a point where I have some pretty decent stuff now. So it's not really a competition, guys. And I appreciate you guys keeping it civil in the comments. But yeah, this is a really impressive setup. The way I was experiencing it, we've already done a couple of demos already, and the way I experienced it is it's very balanced, and that's the best thing about it. It's like you don't want to have something that has like piercing highs. You don't want to have something that's like too much bass, and you just really can't enjoy yourself. You want an all around even tone through each one of your speakers, and to give you a nice neutral response throughout the entire room, because like this guy has multiple seats, right? So if you look, he has 5 kids. So he has different little seats on the bottom, little gaming chairs. He has a lot of these, chairs over here. So there's a lot of seats in here. And you want it to sound good from your main listening position than you do at every other seat. So it's hard to do with certain setups, but it's also a little easier too if you have some good speakers to start with. But like I said, this is his setup. I think it's awesome. We're going to do a couple more demos, and let me know what you guys think of it, okay?
seeing this?
Yeah, I see it. That's Kaneda's bike from Akira. Some licensed skin over standard frame.
No, not the bike. Forget the bike. The girl. I think it's Artemis.
The Artemis? The Sixer Fixer?
I've seen all her walkthroughs, her Twitch streams. It's her. It's definitely her.